If you've never visited Australia, you don't know the true meaning of fear. This vast country is home to some of the most terrifying creatures you can imagine. These aren't just wild beasts, but truly voracious monsters, giant insects, and creepy crawlies whose existence you will find hard to accept. However, all these creatures are real, and today we are going to present you 5 of the most terrifying ones that have been sighted in Australia in recent times. Do you dare to meet them? Then get ready to discover the true meaning of fear with the following creepy animals. Number 5. In 1890, a beautiful village at the foot of the Stratboogie Ranges was shaken by chilling news. On its shores, a huge creature had been murdering and abducting fishermen and bathers without anyone being able to prevent it. At first, few people managed to spot the creature. Therefore, they could provide little information about its real form. It was only known for having the features of a giant lizard whose strength dragged men up to 2 meters tall to the depths. Word of this creature quickly spread throughout Australia. Some christened this animal the Beast of Yowie, in honor of the fishing village that had been attacked by it. After dozens of disappearances, local residents became concerned about the strange events that were occurring in their shores. Fishermen were no longer going out with their boats in the morning, and the local economy was suffering. As a result, the town asked the Melbourne Zoo to help them, which was widely known as the home of Australia's wildest and most monstrous beasts. In response, the zoo sent a hunter who was in charge of trapping the creature. Immediately, nearly 40 volunteers joined the man's adventure. The reports that the hunter made about the creature were varied. According to his descriptions, the beast was similar to a hairy crocodile, with large jaws full of deformed teeth and a scaly body that exceeded 9 meters in length. The creature could swim with alarming speed and had no problem with leaping out of the water to finish off its prey. It also demonstrated impressive intelligence, as the great hunter and his team failed to catch it. Further details of this strange creature are unknown, but even today, when someone goes missing off the coast of Australia, some are reminded of the Beast of Yowie. However, when it comes to creatures that always lurk in the most unexpected corners of Australia, the following beast is second to none. Number 4. One of the more unusual creatures that roam the Australian jungle has rarely been caught, despite the fact that numerous people have encountered it. Its appearance is usually described as that of a huge lizard, although no creature of this species has ever managed to reach such a size. The natives know it by the name Megalania, and legends have positioned it as one of Australia's most fearsome monsters. According to the stories, this beast reached more than 10 meters long and had its nest in the heart of the Australian jungle. Some subspecies of Megalania also inhabited the deserts and fed on poisonous snakes. In the late 19th century, several European hunters were attracted by Aboriginal accounts of this creature, although the results were not the best. In fact, most of those who ventured out to hunt the Megalania were killed. Others who survived the experience suffered degenerative wounds from the creature's toxic bite. Most describe it as looking very similar to Komodo dragons, and the last time a similar specimen was seen was in 1978. Of course, the mysteries surrounding this beast are numerous. Very little is known about the Megalania, except for one thing: its danger is deadly. Still, although this ancient creature is legendary and deadly, its fury is nothing compared to the monstrous beast that follows. Number 3. The following creature first appears in some 19th century reports. The men who collected sightings of this beast have transcended in time and have generally christened it the Yowie, although the Aborigines had already met the creature long before the first Europeans arrived. The Yowie is generally described as an unknown creature with ape-like features, abundant hair, and giant feet that leave inexplicably large footprints in the earth and mud. These particular traits have led the Yowie to be considered the Australian Bigfoot, although those who have encountered it are convinced that this is an unclassifiable being that cannot be compared to any living creature. The Australian Aborigines have a similar opinion, since they can call this beast an unknown creature that can break a strong man's spine without even using its full strength. Of course, the Yowie seems to be a very particular monster, and its sightings have flooded social networks for several decades. Many videos and photographs claim to have captured its image, although no one have managed to fully portray this unnatural beast. Something similar has happened with the next creature on the list. For many, this beast is nothing more than a legend, despite the fact that a photograph of it was found and has been the subject of study for years without leaving any decisive conclusion so far. Number 2. For many people, Australia is a tourist paradise, but not for the reasons you might think. Although this country contains all kinds of vegetation and climates, its main attraction lies in its numerous ecosystems and almost uninhabited islands, such as Hook Island, the home of a sea monster that has managed to transcend borders. The first sighting of the Hook Island monster occurred near the Whitsunday Islands. This place is a natural refuge for underwater observation that attracts hundreds of tourists and scholars of different marine ecosystems every year. It was precisely this fact that attracted Robert Lee Surack and his family in 1964. The group intended to explore the area and conduct research on the diversity of marine species in the area. However, something quickly changed their plans. According to records of the event, as the family was crossing Stonehaven Bay, something anomalous caught their attention. It was a huge creature resting on the sand. From a distance, it looked like a huge, monstrous blob. It was over 8 meters long and its dark body appeared slimy and smooth. Faced with this fact, the father of the family approached with his camera, determined to keep a record of it. In a few minutes, he managed to capture some photographs of the monster, but he didn't have time to continue with his mission because the creature wasn't dead, and upon noticing his presence, it pounced on him. Luckily, it was very slow, as it was undoubtedly a sea beast. The Lezerac family took refuge inland and kept a healthy distance from the beast until it disappeared into the sea. Little information is available regarding this creature, and many have been quick to claim that the photographs have been edited. However, Hook Island monster sightings have continued to grow over time, and it is believed that this beast and its offspring continue to lurk on the uninhabited islands in the area, waiting for someone else to try to cast doubt on its existence. But if we talk about danger, the next creature on the list has been forcing Aborigines to migrate from their territories for several decades, as they cannot cope with the strength of this beast or its bloodlust. Number 1. Australia is famous for being home to some of the largest lizards on the planet. In its ecosystems, these beasts grow rampant and feed on virtually any living thing that falls into their jaws. However, in the distant land of Arnhem, deep in the country, there's a beast that could terrify the crocodiles of the Nile. Its name is Burnjaw, and for more than a century it has been one of the most terrifying creatures in the area. The natives left several areas where the Burnjaw grew and even witnessed how these giant lizards could devour adult kangaroos in a matter of seconds. Generally, its size exceeded 9 meters in length, and curiously, some reports point to it as a bipedal creature whose body sometimes had feathers. Others claim that it's a creature very similar to traditional lizards, although its skin is ultra tough and can take on virtually any creature in the Australian ecosystem. Of course, reports are sketchy, and to date, the only people who have managed to catch this creature have been the local Aborigines. Of course, there is little information regarding the Burnjaw, and the last sighting of this creature occurred in 1985. And if we talk about unexplained and creepy animals, the next beast on the list will definitely make you cancel your next holiday trip to Australia. Zone 0. There is probably no creature more terrifying than the one that lurks in the depths of Port Stephens. In this popular and touristic place that gathers honeymooners, families, and beach lovers every year, a prehistoric creature is believed to be inhabiting the area. A creature so chilling that could horrify the very naval force of any country. It's the Megalodon. The mythical creature that's over 18 meters long and whose bite could tear a pickup truck in half. The first sighting of this creature occurred in 1918 when a group of marine explorers came across a supposed shark of incalculable proportions that tore apart a whale in front of their eyes. When the explorers shared their story with the fishermen, they confirmed their suspicions. They all agreed that they had seen the creature and that it was at least 3 times the size of a blue whale. Some even gave the exaggerated figure of 91 meters to describe its size, although most witnesses simply defined it as a monster of the ocean. Since that year, a series of reports, sightings, and even investigations have indicated that an unknown creature with colossal characteristics is living in the depths of Port Stephens. Is it really a megalodon? Do these and other creatures exist in Australia? Can we find any clues to help us understand what is happening in the different ecosystems of this country? These questions are difficult to answer, but if you check out the following videos, you will find some answers and, of course, new questions that will make you rethink the ocean as you know it.